So, version 1 of the R18 eBay Turbo Kit lasted just about 8,000 miles before we blew the motor. We bent cylinder 1, as you guys already know. It's just nice and bent, and you can see the stress marks right over here. That's where probably all the heat was in it, just evaporated that oil. Yeah, there you go, there she is. Now we've been running version 2 right at 8,000 miles right now. Is this the breaking point where we're gonna snap another rod, break another motor, and have to do it all over again for version 3? Well, I hope not. On this video, we are going deep down into the engine cylinders, and we are doing another leak down test in the 8th gen R18 stock bottom end. Now this engine is pretty much the factory engine with the factory components. The only thing we did compared to version 1 is cylinder number 1 rod has been replaced with another $25 eBay rod and piston combo. So we still are running a factory engine for the most part. I don't know, would you call it a Frankenstein engine at this point? Alright guys, this is the used rod and piston I picked up on eBay for a low price. This is what we need to make the Civic working again. As far as I know, this is from an 08 Civic 1.8 liter R18. As you guys can see, it has the same in. And yeah, the top rings look okay. The actual oil clearance rings are very gunked up. So we're gonna spray some oven cleaner. We're gonna spray some of this on it, and that's gonna hopefully clean the pistons off really well. Just look at this, man. Almost like new, man. This piston's looking better than the ones I have in my car now. Would you look at that? Sheesh. It's been doing great for the 8,000 miles I've had it. We are currently running it on E85. So let's see how these leak down numbers look. And at the end of the video, we're going to do another leak down test on the R18 build that we are doing over here. We've been circulating it through some oil inside the valves, inside the pistons. So I'm just curious to see how lubing this abandoned engine as the weeks and months have been progressing, how is it affecting the leak down numbers. So stay tuned for the entire video. So for those of you that don't know, doing a leak down test will give you a lot of information on the engine. The most critical parts that it will tell you is where compression is leaking. So it will test the valves, both the intake valves, both the exhaust valves. It will test the cylinder piston rings. So if you are having problems in any of those categories, those will be evident during a engine leak down test. Some people say a leak down test will give you more information than a compression test, but obviously doing both a compression test and a leak down test, I think, is the best thing you can do for your vehicle if you are running into issues. For example, when we blew the R18 version 1 engine, the leak down test was all perfect. It was around 6, 7, 8% leak down, which is perfect. But the compression test showed that cylinder number 1 was a little bit lower than the others. And that's because we had a bent rod and it wasn't extending all the way to create that compression. So doing both will give you the most information again. $125 on this gauge, man. I swear the last gauge we used, we had 240, 210. Unless this is not sealing properly here, because this doesn't look like a good seal here. Alright, I did cylinder 1 twice. Check the connection. I got 125 both times. Now I'm going to check cylinder number 2. I'm very worried. Just comparing it from the old gauge I used, I remember I had 240 compression. So cylinder 1 is definitely low compared to that gauge. As long as these are all consistent on this gauge, that will be a good thing. Go ahead, crank it. Alright, this one is 145-ish.
And for less than half of $145, you can get this awesome watch from FOSMET. Thank you, FOSMET, for sponsoring today's video. So like me, I don't really wear watches, but I had to rock this bling bling. The FOSMET watch features a stylish design with a 1.43 HD screen, 500 by 500 high resolution, ultra wide viewing angle, and a awesome color spectrum. It has over 120 exercise modes for tracking accurate data and all-weather multi-dimensional health tracking. It has Bluetooth call and message alerts and built-in hi-fi dual speakers. It is military grade, IP68 waterproof, scratch-proof, drop-resistant, and impact-resistant. It houses a 500 mAh capacity battery, which is good up to 45 days without use, or 7 to 10 days with normal use. All in all, if you're looking for some wrist bling bling, look no further for an affordable price here from FOSMET. I'm going to include some discount codes and affiliate codes down below if you are interested in picking one up. Cylinder 1 leak down test. Engine has been cooled for a few hours. So far looks very good and consistent with what they used to be. Leak down test, cylinder number 2. Cylinder number 3. Cylinder number 4, leak down test.
All right, so it is settled. All in all, the leak down test is fantastic. The car has about 124,000 miles now altogether. Again, about 8,000 miles on the version 2 turbo kit and about 16,000 miles total boosted. We are running it right now with around 4 to 5 pounds of boost to keep it a little bit conservative and more efficient, as the exhaust manifold and the exhaust downpipe isn't the most free-flowing. But nonetheless, the results are great. I don't have any problems with the car. It is running flawless, so I am going to avoid doing a compression test at this point in time. But that's something we might do later on if we just want to double check the compression of the engine, or if we suspect any engine damage or bent rods, which, knock on wood, we don't get any.
I got my spare R18 that we're going to be building a couple months, probably 2 months sitting, with lubrication in the cylinders, leak down, just a hair more. I must admit the valves are dirty, but that looks like an 8 to me. Cylinder 1. Cylinder number 2. Man, these numbers looking better than the last time I did this test. But again, it's kind of lubed up and wet in there. It's not a full dry. Not bad at all. Look at that. For a stone cold motor that's been just sitting forever. Cylinder number 2 looks great.
This thing is looking fantastic.
Cylinder number 3. Amazing.
7%, 6-7%. Just ready to throw this puppy in. And finally, we got cylinder number 4 leak down test. Looks fantastic all around. As time goes by, all these cylinders are just sealing a little bit better. I do still have some residual oil in the cylinders. That may be a reason for this. But at the same time, I had oil in it when I tested it, you know, prior to this, and the results weren't as good as they are now. If you guys have done compression tests and leak down tests on your 8th gen or Civics, if you have any tips or tricks on doing those, jot them down below and let me know your compression number results, your leak down test results, because I mean these look pretty good, but then again I haven't used different leak down testers, so I'm curious now if I put another leak down tester on here, is it going to show me something completely different? Alright, well that's the wrap for the video. Like, share, subscribe. See you on the next one.
You can tell the torque right away, man. By one gear, you're already car length and fucking pulling, man. And I'm same start and everything, you know what I mean? Very nice. Sounds fucking sick, dude.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true.